Okay, so a while back, I can't recall specifically what date, what time, I couldn't help but overhear these two people talking. They were quite loud in their mannerisms, and there was kind of no escape from it at the place where I was because it was very crowded that day, and I just wanted to, chill out and people watch for a few minutes. And I felt this was an interesting topic that two people don't realize that they brought up, but I'm going to bring it up to you. What are you talking about, Jan? Well, let's jump into it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. As always, I hope everybody is doing well. So there are these two ladies, I would say probably a little past middle age, maybe, just above middle age or early senior type of age bracket. And they got into a heated discussion over something that, well, could be a common question. So one of the people of the two insisted that they save more money by shopping more often. Huh? Yes, that's what one person said. And needless to say, the other person was adamantly secure about defending her stance. And she maintained in the conversation that she saves a ton of money by not shopping so frequently, for groceries. Okay. So it was kind of like, I said, boy, this is an interesting topic. I'm just sitting there minding my own P's and Q's, and interesting to hear how two very different people had two very different stances, but in their mind's eye, and maybe even with their budget, they arrived at the same conclusion. For their budget, it worked out. Okay, now how many times have you heard me suggest that it costs less money to shop less frequently? Okay, and my particular stance on that is if, let's say, a person is driving to the grocery store using up gas, I feel it's extra time or whatever. But the other person was maintaining that you're better off shopping more frequently with less items so that your stuff remains fresh, and maybe perhaps take advantage of pop-up sales that come along. And both sides of the arguing table are actually correct. Now, I would like to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think it is preferable or smarter or wiser or less costly to shop more often? Is it or isn't it? Or do you believe that it's a time saver? Any other argument may have about it, to shop less frequently? There are no right or wrong answers. Let's get one thing straight. On this question, in my opinion, there are no right or wrong answers because at the end of the day, both of the people maintained that they were saving money. You see, that's what counts. So anybody could get on a platform and suggest their opinion, like in my opinion, because it's my preference, okay? I don't personally prefer having to jump into the store all the time to go grocery shopping, okay? For me, I feel time is money, and for me to keep spending extra time at the grocery store, I could be earning money. You see my argument for it. Not to mention, to me, it's much more convenient not to have to do that. But if the both people are saving money and they're keeping within their own grocery budget, to me, winner, winner, chicken dinner, either way. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I, usually suggest not to because that's my personal preference. But doesn't that mean it's 100%? No. Now, how did it start that people so often have to go to the grocery store? It started many, many years ago, before we had common refrigeration. I'm talking about like about 100 years ago, when people maybe had a thing called an ice box. And if you don't know what an ice box is, just go back to that old television sitcom classic, The Honeymooners. They had in their kitchen, and they really should have had a fridge because refrigerators was so around in the 1950s, okay? Because if you go to the Beaver, you'll see that their parents had a refrigerator, okay? But an ice box is just that. It was a box, like, I don't know how it was made, probably metallic is my guess. Then under it, they had a drip pan because you would put a block of ice on the bottom, I suppose, on the bottom of this contraption, and it would serve as sort of like a cooler, like, like a cooler that we would pack up for the beach, for example. But it was, their version of it, and people had those. So people didn't buy meat and freeze it for a week or two because it was not like a freezer. So what people would do is go to the fresh butcher shop, for example, and maybe do daily or every other day shopping for their food. It was a different world. Different situations cause different situations and different results. Now, to be on the presumption that every single person can freeze a whole bunch of food, go to the store less often, would not be fair because a lot of people don't have the means. They may have modern day refrigerators, but they may be cut down to, let's say, half a size or a quarter of the size of a full fledged refrigerator. Thus, that would change their method of shopping, perhaps, or the things they shop for, or just buy more shelf stable food that does not necessarily rely on the refrigerator. Back in the day, they really didn't have shelf stable food. So we have to keep that in mind for people that had, those ice boxes. But people found a way to make it work, okay? No two ways today. This is a different era. Back in the day, you really couldn't keep meat around in your ice box for very long. It would go bad. It would go bad because of the way the mechanism was set up. I mean, if you were not on top of switching that big old ice cube, and this ice cube was an enormous thing, it wasn't like these little itty bitty baby ice cubes that we see in an ice cube tray, in modern day, or the kind that the freezer produces on its own in your own freezer these days, for example. No, 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 no. Different world, different world. So whose side is right? Whose side is wrong? Honestly, I figured it out and it made me think. It just jogged my memory when I thought of those two ladies. And I said, why are they arguing? Technically, they're both right. But it was very interesting to hear the interplay of these two people. Both sides had a tremendously strong argument against each side, or really in defense of what they were doing. If at the end of the day, both of them were saving money, and let's say the one person probably enjoyed going to the market more frequently, and that's okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then you have the other type of person, like myself, that does not enjoy going to the market frequently because I'd much rather do other things, other activities that may be generating cash. Going to the market is not going to generate myself cash unless I'm saving like 100% on my groceries. And I don't know of anyone that could save 100% on their groceries. Let me know in the comments section below if that's actually possible. Could you save 100% on your groceries? All right. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate everybody's time. And remember, no answer is necessarily right. No answer is necessarily wrong. What is right for you? What has helped you save money over time? Do you think about saving money when you plan your groceries? Some people they don't. They're just writing a list and they're like, okay, who cares? And just go. Hey, if that's what floats your boat and you're living okay and within your means, that's your style. But anyway, I think a little differently on certain subject matters, but that's okay too. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to take good care of yourself and your amazing family. Thank you.